Go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the godfather of psychic mediums, Chris George, and I'm joined by my co-host, Victor the Voice Furman. It's Friday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we want to welcome you all to the Paranormal Lounge. This is the place where you can come in, kick back, and join some of the best parapsychic talk anywhere. Sorry to say that River Wildfire Moon won't be joining us tonight. She's a bit under the weather. She gave me a call, about an hour ago. She sounded like death warmed over. I was wondering if I was going to have to channel her at some point, but hopefully it won't come to that.
Chris, I think you are channeling her right now, to be honest with you.
I know, because I'm also sick as a dog, and I don't know what's going on here. Last night I had a rough time of it, Victor, on our other show, Second Sight, and tonight I'm thinking to myself, am I going to be able to pull this off, because my throat is killing me. I don't know what I sound like, but
Okay, let me just share something with you as a spiritual healer, and you're a spiritual healer. Never say something is killing you. Your throat is bothering you this evening, and you're going to deal with it, but it's not going to kill you.
No, this is true. It's not going to kill me because I'm a tough SOB.
That's right.
So I'll be able to take it.
That's right.
Last week we were supposed to have two guests. One was Artie 6 Killer Clark, and the other was Debbie Chestnut. Well, Artie 6 Killer Clark stood us up. And Debbie Chestnut was nice enough to come on and do the full 2 hours with us. And you know what? Debbie is awesome. You know, she's like one of us. She's just like a laid-back girl and so smart and just has, very strong opinions on things. And I loved her. I thought it was a great show.
Absolutely great show. And we're going to have her back on again. She has so much to share. And she's in the process of writing a new book, which is actually going to be fiction, a novel, as opposed to the nonfiction that she's been writing, and we're looking forward to that.
Right. Well, every week our guests send me in questions for me to ask for myself, for you, Victor, and for River. And since River isn't here today, I'm going to give her questions to you, if you don't mind.
It depends. If they're from the usual questioners, I don't want those questions. But
okay, no. Well, some of the names might have been changed for the purpose of the show through River.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to go with the names that I have here, but the questions are real.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The first question is from Johnny Smalljunk, and Mr. Smalljunk would like to know, if you were walking through the forest and you suddenly saw an angel, what would you ask it? That's a pretty good question.
I actually wouldn't do anything verbal. I would connect with it telepathically.
Nice.
And I would just ask it what its message was for me or what its mission was at that time.
All right, good answer. Now, Victor, this question is actually for you, and it's from someone named Selena. And I thought this was a great question, and I think it's right up your alley. She says, if you were asked to speak at a graduating class, what would you say? That's a hard one, huh?
You know what I'd say? My speech to a graduating class would have nothing to do with the paranormal. It would be a life lesson. And the life lesson would be, which is something that's a recurrent message right now in my circles and something I'm actually writing a blog post about. And that message is you have to take ownership of everything in your life. You have to be responsible because there are so many who are unwilling to take responsibility for their lives, and it's at the cost of many things, including the degradation of our nature, the degradation of interpersonal relationships, and unfortunately the degradation of our world. So my message to the graduating class would be take ownership and responsibility for everything in your life and everything around you.
Very good, Vic. And Denny, if you're listening, they need the link in the chat room, okay? Okay, now the next question is for me from David. And David wants to know, Chris, if you were told you had a terminal illness, which I don't like this, but okay, and had 6 months to live, what 3 things would be most important for you to do? That's a tough one. The first thing I would do is apologize to my ex-wife for hurting her. That would be the first thing. Although I've done it many times, I would make sure, because if I'm leaving this earth, I want her to know that I meant that I was sorry.
Excellent.
That would be the first thing I would do.
Very good.
The second thing I would do is, I don't know what the second thing I would do is. It would be, I would throw a huge party for all my family and friends. That's what I would do, just to have one last great night with everyone. I would definitely do that. And then the third thing I would do is I would take my son and my brother, and I would go fish the Great Barrier Reef, because that is one of my biggest dreams to ever do in my life. It's one of my main things on my bucket list. So I guess those are the three things that I would do. How about you, Vic?
I agree with you. If there's anyone that I ever thought or perceived that I had hurt in any way, I would seek them out and apologize and ask for their forgiveness. That would be the first thing that I would do. And I've done that actually to a few people in my life that I was aware of that I had hurt. The second thing that I would do is there are certain places on the earth that I haven't had the privilege of traveling to. And I absolutely would make the effort to get to the British Isles, in particular Scotland and Ireland, to get to the Middle East, including parts of Egypt and the parts of Iraq and Iran, which are the ancient Mesopotamian and Sumerian places. And the third thing, what would be the third thing? Just to tell the people close to me, my direct family, and the friends who have become family, how much I love them and how much they mean to me.
Right. You know what? How about we throw this question at our guest, even though we haven't introduced her yet? Stacey, would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, that's how fun. I was just sitting here thinking out my list while you guys are talking.
I know you are.
You gave me plenty of time to figure it out, right?
That's it.
Yeah, 6 months is a while. I was thinking that too. It's like, wow, you could actually accomplish quite a bit in 6 months. There's a number of spiritual teachers that I have not had the fortune to meet in person. I've only known them through online classes or through books, so I would definitely make a priority out of getting a chance to meet them and at least study with them for a couple of days. I, of course, would draw as much of my family near to me as I could so I could spend the most amount of time with them that I could, and I probably would get another horse that I could ride and spend some time riding. That's something that I've been putting off because I already have two to take care of, and that's quite a commitment in and of itself. So
wonderful.
All right, that's outstanding. Okay, now this question, Vic, I think you're going to appreciate this one. I'm curious to hear what your answers are. If you don't mind, I'd like to answer it first.
Go ahead.
Actually, you know what? You answer it first.
Go ahead.
This comes from Reba, and Reba wants to know, if you can pick 3 places to investigate, where would they be? That's a great question. Now, I don't know if our guest has ever done any paranormal investigating, but I'll throw that out there to her as well.
I would say the first place would be the White House. And the reason I'm saying that is because Lincoln's spirit is said to haunt the White House. And Lincoln actually had a lot of psychic experiences in the White House. So if it were made available for us for an investigation, it would be the White House, number one. Number one, no question about it. There are so many places. Balmoral Castle in Scotland would be number 2, probably. And honestly, I think the area of the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx, not necessarily in any place, but in the energy in that general area, I bet would be wonderful.
All right, good, very good picks. Okay, for me, and in no particular order, I actually have 4 places that I would really love to investigate. Well, number 1 is Island of the Dolls. That's in Mexico. It's an island that has dolls hanging all over the island that are said to be possessed and whatnot. And it's been on many shows, and it's really eerie. And I would love to spend a week there. Another place is Poveglia Island in Italy, which is said to be the most haunted island in the world. It actually just got sold about a year ago, and that's a place I would love to go. Another place is the Catacombs in Paris. That's said to be crazy haunted, one of the top 5 most haunted places in the world. And then, Victor, a place that not many people know about. And I saw a show on it, and ever since I saw that show, it's been a dream of mine to go there. And it's in China, and it's called Unit 731 Experimentation Camp in Manchuria, China. And let me just tell you a little bit about this place. Okay, I wrote some stuff down. It's called the Asian Auschwitz, and in terms of inhumanity and horror, in the gruesome world of Unit 731, the unthinkable was done on a daily basis. Prisoners, mostly taken in Japan's conquest of Manchuria, were subjected to unimaginable horrors. They were infected with diseases such as anthrax, cholera, and even the bubonic plague, just to gauge the effect these diseases would have on the subjects, who they dehumanized by calling them logs. What else? Well, that's it, basically. But it's supposed to be crazy. They were actually doing human and animal experimentation, trying to mate them and stuff like that at this place. It was just a crazy place, and I would love to go there.
You know, I think one of their experiments was successful. Tom Gillespie.
Oh yeah, who do you mean, Genghis Tom?
Genghis Tom, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely one of their successes.
Absolutely.
How about you, Stacy? Is there any place that you would like to investigate?
I'm probably not nearly as creative as you guys are. Go with the obvious. The pyramids, definitely the Great Pyramid would be fascinating. I'd love to go to Athens at some point and walk through the ruins. I study a lot of Greek mythology, and so it would be fascinating to see some of that in form. And Stonehenge, too, just to, we read about it and know about it so much. It's just to actually have the chance to visit there, and also some of the sacred mounds or sacred groves around the area would be fantastic.
Absolutely. You know, when you said the Mediterranean, the ancient Greek area, I think the temple that was built to the Oracle would be a wonderful place to visit. The remnants of that Oracle temple meant so much to the ancient Greeks, and I think it would be a wonderful place to visit. I would rephrase the question in your case, though, Stacy. Where would you like to ride your horses that you haven't been in the world?
Ooh, Victor, look at you.
Ride horses, wow. I'm pretty much happy to do that anyway, so that's a pretty easy question. But yeah, I've been there in terms of other places to go in the wilderness and visit. There's, I've been to Peru. I'd love to go back again. I absolutely loved that there. It's a great, great country, and I'd really like to go somewhere pretty tropical. That'd be hard to take horses there, so that changes the picture quite a bit when you think about putting a horse on a boat or a plane. But Bora Bora or Tahiti, somewhere extremely tropical like that. I have had the fortune of being able to ride in Hawaii. I have a friend who has 8 horses on the island of Kauai, so I have gotten that benefit.
How about to ride an Arabian through the desert?
That would be an experience in and of itself. I'm kind of a mellow gal. Not into riding horses fast, but I did watch. I have to admit, I was into the Black Stallion when I was young. So there is that allure, anyways, just seeing those beautiful horses in the desert. Those Arabs, they're beautiful.
Absolutely.
Well, Victor, I'm going to come clean on something. Mm-hmm. When I got married many years ago, when I was on my honeymoon in Jamaica, I actually, let's say this, I rode naked on a horse on the beach. Yes, but I paid the price for that because I couldn't have sex for 2 days. But that's a whole other story. Anyway.
Back in the saddle again.
Doesn't sound very comfortable.
It was, and it was horrible. And it lasted all of about 30 seconds before I said I can't do this.
So you were Chris George Godiva then, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I was. I was Chris Georgina because I was singing soprano after that.
There you go.
So okay, Victor, there's one more question, and this is an odd question to ask, I think, and this comes from Alex. Now, not Alex, our friend. This is another Alex. I don't know who he is. It actually came to me from email. And he says, and I think he wrote this nicely, he said, Chris really seems to respect you and always talks you up. I do talk you up, which I think I should, because you do the same for me. Then he writes, you seem to really like him as well, and of course I like him. Then he goes on to write, what one piece of advice would you give him moving forward? I mean, what advice would you give me moving forward? Little do they know you give me advice all the time, but for the radio.
It could be for anything in life, or does it have to be?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he didn't specify.
I think the greatest advice I could give you, and you've really mellowed since you and I have been working together, is when something upsets you, and there are things that righteously upset us, but before you let the anger get the best of you, take a couple of breaths and make sure this is worth investing your energy and anger into before you pursue it.
Sounds good. Yeah, I've come a long way with that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, Stacey, I have to apologize because I don't have. You have it, Victor.
I have a bio.
Vicky, you are friggin' awesome, man.
Chris, I'm the voice. I come prepared, Chris. Come on.
Listen, I sent it